Gideon versus Wainwright. Gideon versus Wainwright is a Supreme Court case unanimously ruled that the state courts are required under the Sixth Amendment of the Constitution to provide counsel in criminal cases for defendants that are unable to afford their own attorneys. Okay, we're here at justtheater.com. Here we see that the defendant was without funds when he was initially before the court. He requested counsel so he could defend himself. There's case law giving Best versus Brady, where there's a right for an indigent defendant in a criminal trial to have access to counsel under the 14th Amendment. The defendant was charged in Florida with a misdemeanor. It says that this is an offense under, and then it gives a citation. It shows here when the defendant requested an attorney and he was without funds, the court said they could not give him an attorney because of the state law during that time says that he had to have a capital offense to be able to receive free counsel. It shows that he was put to trial before a jury. He conducted his own defense. The jury returned a verdict of guilty, and the petitioner was sentenced to 5 years state prison. He filed a writ of habeas corpus petition attacking the conviction on the grounds that the trial court refused to appoint him counsel so he could defend himself under the guarantee of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. His petition made it to the state Supreme Court. They denied it without an opinion. He ultimately made it to the Supreme Court, as we see, and they gave him counsel. The Supreme Court wanted to hear his case because they wanted to review defendant's federal constitutional rights to counsel in the state court. So they gave it another review. They granted certiorari, which again means that the Supreme Court was going to hear the case. In the end, the Supreme Court made a decision where the right to be heard would be, in many cases, of little avail if it did not comprehend the right to be heard by counsel. Even the intelligent and educated layman has small and sometimes no skill in the science of law. If charged with crime, he is incapable generally of determining for himself whether the indictment is good or bad. He is unfamiliar with the rules of evidence. Left without the aid of counsel, he may be put on trial without a proper charge and convicted upon incompetent evidence, or evidence irrelevant to the issue or otherwise inadmissible. He lacks both the skill and knowledge adequately to prepare his defense, even though he may have a perfect one. He requires the guiding hand of counsel at every step in the proceedings against him. Without it, though he be not guilty, he faces a danger of conviction because he does not know how to establish his innocence. So they said that Best versus Brady departed from the sound wisdom of the courts holding Powell versus Alabama, and the judgment was reversed, and they remanded the cause back to the original Supreme Court of Florida so they could rehear his case with the proper context of him having counsel. Gideon versus Wainwright is an important landmark case because it gave everyone the constitutional right to counsel, even if you were not charged with a capital offense.